Vignette number 102 from Zen Is Right Here. Teaching Stories and Anecdotes of Shunryu Suzuki. We were all fascinated with the notion of enlightenment, but Suzuki said it was not the point that needed emphasis. Once in an interview, I decided to address the matter directly. "I am here to be enlightened," I said. He shot me a piercing glance and then quietly replied, "If your practice continues, enlightenment will come. But even if it does not, if your practice is good, it is almost the same." That's from Lou Richmond. Sokoji, 1968. Well, that certainly goes against the idea most people have of practice, enlightenment, Buddhism. Soto Zen is it emphasizes, of course, it's only people in Soto Zen that emphasize anything, but Soto Zen people, teachers, writers, I've always noticed, emphasize practice, and that practice is enlightenment, and that practice and enlightenment are one. That's Dogen's teaching, and that practice is not a means to enlightenment. It is not something that leads to enlightenment. It is something that is enlightenment. So what does that mean? That just means that whatever we do, our daily life, if we do it without sticking to some idea, as Suzuki would say, that it is enlightenment. The enlightenment isn't like something that's a place or that's an experience that exists somewhere or in some people. It's just the way things are, and it's something, it's becoming aware of how things really are. So that's why he says if your practice is good, you're becoming aware, I think he would say, of what he'd call things as it is. And also this is the long game. It's also the short game. Get away from goal orientation and just, Katagiri used to say, settle the self on the self. That makes some people pause to think, wait a minute, I thought Buddhism said there's no self. Isn't that one of the original Buddhism, right from the first, one of the 3 marks of existence: no self, impermanence, and suffering? Yeah, then they use that word self a lot. Anyway, this is like a koan, huh? This is something to think about. If your practice continues, enlightenment will come. I heard him say that in different ways. In fact, he'd say enlightenment will come even if you don't practice, but it'll just be like a psychedelic experience, right? Or it'll just be something that flips by. So the emphasis is on practice, not on having some experience. because the idea of having some experience was going in the wrong direction. Anyway, I could just keep saying things, but it's best to just sort of let it sit like a koan, huh? So, even if our practice is good, even if we're not enlightened, whatever that is, it is almost the same. This has been a Cuke Audio mini podcast. I'm DC, Poobah of Cuke Audio and Cuke Archives, coming to you from sleepy Sanur with Dogette Bandita, Feline Cuchita, and dear lovely Katrinka. And we're wishing you and yours and all of us a grand awakening.